Hey calculus students, Ms. Deer here with you today. I wanted to go over some calculator skills. So here in this first video, let's talk about your quiz. Sorry about my dog in the background. So we are going to inscribe a rectangle under a graph of cosine x, which is going to look like this. So we know that every point on this curve is x cosine x. So if I want to maximize the area, well, the area is the base times the height. Well, if this is x, then this is also x. So the whole area of the base, or sorry, the whole length of the base is 2x, and my height is whatever cosine of x is. Because this is the thing that I want to optimize, this is what I'm going to take the derivative of. So dA dx, I'm going to use my product rule. So I have cosine x times 2 plus 2x times negative sine x. This is always continuous, so it's never undefined. So all I have to do is set 2 cosine x minus 2x sine x equal to 0. You can do this two different ways, and I want to show you on your calculator. Hopefully you can see that if you want to set 2 cosine x equal to 2x sine x, you can't actually solve this by hand. So this is where we're going to get out our calculator. And hopefully my calculator is in a disastrous mode, so you'll have to see me fix lots of things. So first of all, what mode am I in? I'm right away in the wrong mode. So if you go to mode on your calculator, we are almost always in function mode. We are also always in radians because calculus only works in radians. And now when I go to my y equals, oh good, I have a disaster amount of stuff in there, so I just want to make sure that I clear everything in here. I want to make sure that none of my plots are on. All right, so in my first y equals, I want to put cosine of x, cosine of x. And in my second one, I'm going to put x sine x. Now, I want to know where these two intersect. And I know, because I'm so good at pre-calculus, that all of my x values are going to be between negative pi halves and pi halves. So I don't need to look at a 10 by 10 window. So when I go to window, you'll see it says x min negative 10, x max 10. That's going to give me a standard 10, 10 window. It's really big. So maybe I just want to look at my x values from 0 to say, I don't know, 5. And my y values from negative 1 to 1. That will work because I know that everything's going to happen in there. I can even go from negative 5 to 5. It's really your choice, but you don't really want to have a giant window because they're going to intersect more than once. So now I want to figure out where these intersect. So if I go to calc, you'll notice that number 5 actually says intersect. So here's my graphs. Hopefully you recognize that that's cosine of x, and that is x sine of x. And I can tell that this right here is the point of intersection that I'm looking for. It's between 0 and pi halves. It's the first one, so it's going to ask me a series of questions. So it asks me first curve. So you can see that I am on this curve. If I hit the up-down button, I go from curve to curve. So it doesn't matter, first curve, yes, the way you say yes on your calculator is you hit enter. Second curve, I'm on the other one, so yes, that will do, yes. And then it asks me to guess. We can see that just in this window, I have 2 points of intersection. Well, your calculator doesn't know which one we want. So when it asks you to guess, it is going to give you the point of intersection closest to your answer. So you can arrow over really close to it, this way, or you can just type in a number, like 1, and it will give you the answer closest to that. So I can see that it has given me the point of intersection. Now I just want the x value. So the x value is 0.860. That's great, it's within our region. So now if I want to actually maximize the area, I need to go back to my home screen. And well, if I know that if x is 0.860, then I want to find cosine of this value. So I want to find cosine of 0.860. Again, I am in radians, so everything is good with the world. Y is approximately 0.652. If I want to actually find the area, it's going to be 2 times x times y. So answer, if I had just hit times, it pulls down my answer from above, times 2 times 0.860. My area is about 1.122. All right, the dimensions of this would be 2x times y. So 2 times 0.860 would be this distance right here. 0.652 would be this height right here. All right, so I'm going to show you a couple of other quick things that we should know how to do in our calculator. The first one is how to store things. So let's say that I am solving something and I get a really ugly answer. So let's say that x is the cube root of 17. Now, I can certainly plug this into my calculator and get a decimal approximation, but the problem is that when I then plug it in, then I will have rounded my answer, and then I'll round it every time I plug in. So if I want to find f of x is, say, like 2 over x plus 3 cosine x, and I want to plug this value in. The best way to do that is to store it on your calculator. So if I do the cube root of 17, there are 2 different ways. If I hit number, I can go ahead and find the cube root, which is kind of annoying. I can also just do 17 to the rational exponent of 1/3, and it will give me the cube root. And this is an irrational number. It's a lovely gross decimal. So I don't want to round this when I'm plugging it in. So I'm going to use my store button, and I'm going to hit store, and then I'm going to hit this xt theta n button. Now, whenever I hit x on my calculator, it will plug this in. So 5x equals, it multiplies 5 times this number. It does not have any effect on your functions. You probably already have a value in there that you never knew about. So if I want to find the value of this function, a great way to do that is just to store it on my calculator and then do 2 over x plus 3 cosine x. It will plug it in without rounding. And then I get so f of the cube root of 17 is about negative 1.747376987. I can round my final answer, but I don't want to round everything in there. All right, so I'm going to make another video that's going to show you how to find some zeros and help you get better acquainted with your calculator.